Hello everyone, welcome to my Persian Corner. My name is Panta and today we have a quick lesson on just one little Persian word, but it's a word that's so commonly used in so many different contexts. So we're going to take a look at this word in all of these different contexts today. The word I'm talking about is jun. Jun literally means soul or life or spirit. And I know I've mentioned on the channel a few times before that words that have "un" in them are typically pronounced "un" in spoken Persian. So you might have also heard John pronounced as June. So both pronunciations are fine, and I would say they're both equally as commonly used. So let's take a look at all of the different uses of this one little word. The first way that we can use this word, and I would actually say it's probably one of the most common ways, is to use it after a person's first name. So for example, I have a cousin named Nati, and I call her Natijan or Natijun. And in this way, it kind of means like dear. It's like a term of endearment. So it's like calling her Nati dear. And my students often call me Pantajun or Pantajan. And in turn, I also call my students by their first name, followed by John or June. With some people that I'm not exactly on a first name basis with, but we're still a little bit formal, but also a little bit friendly, and they call me Mrs. Falahi or Khanum Falahi, and then sometimes they add a John at the end of that. So they might also call me Khanum Falahi John. The second way that we can use this word is in place of a name altogether. So I do this a lot with my aunts and uncles. For example, I have an aunt named Nushin and I call her Khale Nushin, Aunt Nushin. But sometimes I just say Khale Jun or Khale Jan, dear aunt. And so, I just use Jan instead of the name in this case. My parents both come from big families with a lot of siblings, and generally with their older siblings, they would call them, Khar Jun or Dadash Jan, for example, dear sister, dear brother. And in this way, it was showing more respect rather than calling them by their first name. But this was more of a generational thing, I think. I don't think it's quite as common these days. The next way that we can use this word is to mean what? So when you didn't hear something that somebody said and you need them to repeat, you can say chi, which literally means what, or you can say bale, which means like come again, or you can say John. And to me, this is just the sweetest kind of way to say it. And I find myself saying this a lot more these days, especially if if it's kind of noisy out and these days when people have masks on and I didn't hear something and I'm like, John, which, then they repeat it. Our next use of this word is to answer someone who said your name. So if somebody from across the room calls my name and is like, hey, Panta, I can respond by saying John or June. And it just means like, yes, what do you need? What can I do for you? Or if they call me from across the room and are like, Panta John, I can say John or Johnam. And if they say Panta June, I say June, Junam. So whatever they say, I might respond accordingly. And I can also respond, like I can say John or I can say Johnam, which we know this is that possessive ending. So I'm saying like, yes, my soul, yes, my life, what can I do for you? What is it that you need? And it's just a very sweet, polite way to, say like, yes, but what do you need? When something is very cute or very sweet, we'll also be like, hey, John, hey, Johnam. And that's just kind of like saying, oh, how sweet, how cute. Next, to answer the phone, we can say John or Johnam. Typically, when you answer the phone, you just say allo. But if you check the caller ID, it's somebody you know, maybe a close friend or family, you can answer by saying John or Johnam. We also saw John in the short expression "nushe jan," which literally means may it nourish your soul, but we saw it kind of means like bon appetit. So if you thank somebody for a meal, typically they respond by saying "nushe jan." Or in this context, if somebody's eating something and they offer you some but you don't want any, you can respond by saying "merci nushe jan," which means like I'm good, thank you, but you enjoy it. Then we can use this word to swear. So you can swear on your own life or you can swear on somebody else's life. And if you swear on your own life, you can say jun-e or jun-e. And this is a case, remember we said we had two different ways to form the possessive. And this is a case where you want to definitely say jun-e and not junam. So when you say junam, that's more of the like sweet, junam, what can I do for you? But when you say jun-e, this is the swearing like, please, on my life, please, for the love of God, like don't do something, jun-e nakon. Because this jun-e, this is the possessive form that we use for emphasis. So we want to make sure to use this form in this context. If you're swearing on somebody else's life, like please, for for example, Ali, on Ali's life, don't do that. You could say jun-e Ali nakon, so you would just add their name in. Finally, when something is taking an annoyingly long time and you're losing patience and you want someone to hurry it up already, we can use this word. And there's a couple of common phrases that we use. One of them is junet bala biyad, which literally means may your soul come up. The second one is jun beken, which literally means pick your soul. And the literal translations of these don't make a whole lot of sense, but what they do is indicate that sense of frustration that is growing in you. So imagine that you're stuck behind a slow driver and you're like, a jun beken, like hurry it up already. And this is a case where you actually want to use jun and not John. To say janet balabiyad or John big, it's a little bit unusual. It's more commonly, jun is more commonly used in this context. So there you have it, our different uses of just one little Persian word, John. I will link the blog post to this video in the description below, and if you go to that blog post, I have a couple of video clips, short video clips from movies in there where they use John in different contexts. Hopefully you found a new use of John that you can use sometime soon. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, maybe share it with any family or friends who you think might be interested. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Khodafez.